Hello and welcome to the backyard. Today is a super exciting day. We are building the greenhouse. So I am going to shoot everything that we do. I don't know that I'll narrate it, but I may go back and do a voiceover and narrate it later. I will also put links and descriptions in the description of the video of everything that we are using. I'll show you everything that I have really quick. This whole project cost me around $100, and this is made from one cattle panel and T-post, just like an arch trellis, but it's going to be converted into a greenhouse. So let me show you what I have, and then I will show you how we're going to build it. So first things first, this is the shelf I have to put in it, and it is 36 by 24 by 53 inches. That's inches. So this will fit perfectly inside the greenhouse, and I can put 3 trays on each of these shelves. So it's 4 shelves, so I can actually fit 12 trays on it. I don't know that I'll do 12 trays of stuff, but I have the option. I also have over here, this is a tarp zipper, and this you just put on your plastic sheeting and then it creates like a door. This is my greenhouse plastic. I got this on Amazon, and this was, I think, $35, 8 feet by 25 feet. This is greenhouse plastic, so it's UV resistant, but it lets in enough light. It has higher light transmission. So this is 8 by 25. And then in here this was like 10 bucks. And this is something that I kind of forgot that I might need, but I went ahead and grabbed this. And you don't have to have one like this, but this is just what I grabbed. This is a thermometer, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the battery in it. So this is a thermometer. It gives you the minimum and maximum on it, and it also gives you the current. So right now in my garage is 68 degrees, which I doubt is right, but it's been on for like 2 seconds. So this is, see, now it's going down. This is a just battery operated. It goes down to like, I think 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So it should be good to go in the greenhouse. So I can see the temperature, and so then I can gauge when to move the plants out. I also have T-posts, which are around. I have my cattle panel. And this is a 4 foot by 16 foot cattle panel. I got it at Rural King. They are like $20 at Rural King. At my Rural King anyway. I know sometimes they're a little more expensive depending on where you are. I know they also carry these at Tractor Supply and other like farm stores. My farm store here is Rural King, so that's where I got it. Same place I got the other 4 that are in the garden. So the first thing I'm going to do is rake back the gravel that we have over here on the side of the garage, so I can put the T-posts in the ground, and then we will continue from there. So the first thing I did was move the cattle panel out of the way, and I basically just rolled it. They're pretty easy to roll. I had it ratchet strapped together. And then I raked some of the gravel back from the area, measured to make sure I was putting the T-post in the right spot, which is kind of important. This area back here is full of gravel, so I had to rake quite a bit to get down to like dirt to where I could sink the T-posts in. And this one I had a little bit of trouble with. It wanted to keep turning itself, but I got it in. And my T-posts are 6 feet apart. Now, I could have gone at least another foot apart, if not another 2 feet apart, and been fine height-wise. So now Robbie came out and we unstrapped the cattle panel. And then we put it in the T-post. So basically what we did was we chucked it in here, just chucked it in. And then we used about 4,000 zip ties to zip tie it to the T-post. So if you've ever made an arched trellis with a cattle panel, this is the same thing. We used, honestly, like 40,000 zip ties for this project. We get zip ties really cheap at Harbor Freight. We buy them in bags of, I think, 100, and they're like 99 cents. So next we put the plastic on. And I had cut this to be 4.5 feet wide, and then it's 25 feet long. So the panel is 4 feet wide. So we left a little bit of room so we could fold the plastic in. And we basically just each took a side, went around, zip tied in every like square of the panel, all the way down the front and the back. And it took forever. So we put the plastic over the outside of the T-posts. And originally I wanted to put the plastic on the inside of the T-posts and just have the panel covered in plastic and have the T-posts exposed. But we went ahead and did it like this because we just thought it would be easier. Now when it comes time to like take this down, once it gets really hot out, I'm not really sure what we're gonna do. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it in like June. So the next thing we did was we left about 6 inches of excess on the ends, and we just dug down and buried the ends with gravel. If you don't have gravel where you are or whatever, I've also seen people use 2x4s around the bottom and then staple the plastic to it. But since we have this gravel, we decided that we weren't going to spend any more money and just use pretty much what we had. So then we went in and put a few zip ties around the bottom just to make sure that the bottom stays secure if the gravel becomes, you know, loose or whatever. So the next thing we did was figure out the back. Now, we only had so much plastic left, and we had to do the front and the back. So the back is a little weird, but I think it'll be fine for now. I may have to go in and figure out a way to close it up, but I don't know yet. So basically, we just took this extra piece and zip tied it around this one side, and then buried it on the inside of the greenhouse. So we got pretty much the whole back covered with this one piece, but you'll see kind of down where I am, there's a big open spot. So we took another piece of extra that we had and kind of double layered it, which I think is kind of what we're talking about now. Yes, here we go. Here's another piece. So we took this piece and we did the front first. Okay, so we started on the front first because we wanted to make sure we had enough to do the front before we started on the back. So we got the front piece on, and then we tried to figure out the best way to secure it. I bought this tarp zipper for the door, and it's really supposed to be put on one piece of plastic, and then you kind of just cut down the middle once you have the zipper on. But we didn't have one piece that was wide enough to cover the whole front, so we had to do it with 2 pieces, which is fine. I will say that the plastic I bought was 8 feet by 25 feet, and we used pretty much all of it. Now at this point the wind started picking up, so it made everything way more difficult, and so we used a ton of extra zip ties just to make sure that the wind doesn't like blow anything off or blow holes in it or, you know, anything like that. Okay, so here is the finished greenhouse, and here is the door. It's just pretty much it's a hole that I just walk in and out. Go in here. And today I built the shelving that goes in it. So it's been a week. The greenhouse has been up. The thermometer has been in here. Right now it's 70 degrees in here, Fahrenheit, and it is about 40 degrees outside. The sun is out. Now, if it's overcast and it doesn't get very warm outside, it does not get very warm in here. So I think I'm still a few weeks out of being able to bring plants out here. This thermometer has a minimum on it, and the minimum that the greenhouse has gotten is 34.2, which is really low. That's almost freezing. So I went ahead and got my shelves built. We need to do some ventilation in here, so when it does get really hot in here, we can open them up and get some airflow. But I got my shelves built today, and it is so close to being ready to use. So I bought this shelving unit, and it's actually 4 shelves, but I did 2 sets of 2, just so I can make sure that everything gets even light. I didn't want to do one big shelf because it would be, you know, pretty tall. I may do that. I can stack them up if I need to, but I went ahead and just did 2 shelves out here for now. So there you are. The greenhouse is built. I'm super excited to be able to bring my tomatoes and peppers and herbs and stuff out here at some point. I may actually end up starting some things out here if the weather cooperates in the next few weeks. We'll have to wait and see. But for $100 around about, I would say this is a pretty decent way to get a greenhouse that is sturdy, and it has not, it's rained in here. It's rained here a lot in the last week, and there is some water in here, but it's not a lot, and it's nothing that I'm concerned about. And it holds heat really well. The day we built it, it got up to 118 degrees in like 3 hours. So it holds heat really well. So I hope this inspires you to build a greenhouse. Even if you think you don't have the room, you definitely might. And it's not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. So it's a great outcome. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.